Let's go to Daniel Turner, the Power of the Future founder, CEO. This is wild. How high do you think we go with all of this, Daniel? Now that the Saudis have intervened to say, or at least promise, look, we'll boost production to make up for Russian oil. The devil's in the details, of course, but could that all be too late?
I think it's way too late at this point. I don't see any relief coming. It is interesting, though, that your previous segment, they just talked about how prices have calmed a little bit with an increase in production. So we are admitting the fact that what we need is that produce more. But again, why are we turning to the Saudis? Why are we turning to the OPEC Plus? It's like we're living in the 70s again, not just rampant crime and rampant inflation and a general sort of like sadness across the country. But we're looking to OPEC to come to our aid. If we want to increase the supply of oil, why are we not doing everything possible as a country to produce more here? And yet you have people like Deb Haaland who are taking land offline for access. You have people like Richard Glick, the chairman of the FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, that are politicizing the midstream, things like pipelines. So it's just marveling to see this White House look externally for relief when we have all the tools necessary within our own borders to fix this problem.
You know, that's a very good point, Daniel, because the White House itself was commending what the Saudis were considering doing by increasing production, could be upwards of 400,000 barrels a day. I don't know what the final figure will be, but they have a lot of it. We have a lot of it. We were eclipsing the Saudis as oil producers worldwide, and now we're sort of hat in hand, sort of begging them to help us out. It is weird.
It is, and it's devastating because we have all of the necessary tools here at home, and we have an industry that wants to produce more. Remember, this industry would rather make its profits on volume and not on price point. And you need no further example of that than the year 2018 and 2019. When we were producing close to 14 million barrels a day, and we were doing it around $62 a barrel. They would much rather return to that because it's politically sustainable, it's economically sustainable. They don't want to be in this situation, and yet if you ask the energy companies, they just keep getting hauled before Congress and yelled at for mythological things like price gouging and corporate greed. So if the government won't work with us, then how are we always the bad guy? It's so frustrating, Neil. For years we've been talking about this, and we see this iceberg ahead of us, and rather than steer the ship in a different direction, we're just headed right towards it.
Yeah, real quickly, flipping it around, I read fear into the Saudis as well, that, this keeps going on and leads to a global slowdown, if not an outright recession like we had in the 70s. They're hurt too, and they're getting concerned. This isn't all about being, friendly to us and Western nations. It's their own hide they're looking after, right?
Oh, absolutely. And for kingdoms or countries like Saudi, where oil is 70, 80, 90% of their over economic portfolio, it's critical that they make these steps, right? They don't have a diversified economy like we do. So they have every intention to put their needs of their country first. We wish we were doing the same. Your last comment, Neil, about diesel prices. I mean, look at what runs on diesel. Yes, trucks and yes, trains that are shipping our goods across country, but all of our farm equipment. And right now we're planting and we're irrigating and we are soon going to be harvesting. Food prices are going to be catastrophic in a couple of months because of diesel prices and fertilizer prices and nitrates and phosphates. All our whole agriculture sector runs on fossil fuels. Our economy runs on fossil fuels. And there's Joe Biden saying, I can't flip a switch. Devastating.
We'll have to watch it very, very closely. Daniel, thank you very much. Daniel Turner.